Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're going to be going over Gastly, Haunter, and Gengar. Alright, so again, we've shit on this site before. Whatpad.com is more like shitpad.usa, so we're just barely able to see the nicknames. We don't want to join your crap site. Stop harassing us. Cheshire, I'm halfway okay with. Like, I understand the reasoning because of the smile. It's like, that's not bad. Everyone is always going to think of the Cheshire Cat, so I don't know. Don't think there's any cat Pokemon that would... Maybe, oh my god, Berserker might actually work for that. I don't know. King, Queen, Boo. Just call it fucking Boo. You don't gotta throw in the king and queen. Leave the gender out of it. Just call it Boo. It's perfectly fine that way too. Do I think it fits? Not the best, but I mean, I don't blame you at all for coming to that assumption. Alright, well, we gotta refresh so we can make fun of this one. Polly, short for poltergeist. No, Polly wants a cracker. No one's going to think poltergeist. That's just a dumb idea. Jeff the Killer, that's old school meme from like 2010, so there's that. And then the rest of these, I don't particularly care because it's all like, hey, foreign stuff, and it's like, that's cool, but yeah, it exists if you care. I don't. Okay, so apparently I hit the stop recording button without a meaning to, so I gotta repeat a few things. I really do like Smile JPG. I think that fits much better than Jeff the Killer because if you just name it Jeff, nobody's gonna get it, nobody's gonna connect the dots, it's not gonna work. But Smile.jpg, it works. I don't think there's any sort of dog Pokemon that could fit this better, but I do like it. I think that's actually pretty good. Gallows is one I've never seen before and is definitely unique on its own. So I like that for that factor, but I definitely think there's better out there. So I think it's good enough to acknowledge and say, yeah, that's different, that fits, that works, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you could put it to any ghost or dark if you wanted to. This was about as far as I got before I realized the recording had stopped. So, Malice, firstly, is spelled wrong, but I do like it. I like the idea of naming them in a sort of Bayonetta style, where it's just like a simple word that has meaning, but when you throw it onto a Pokemon, it kind of becomes something a little bit more. So, I like it, I use it, but I don't use it for Gengar. So, I like Malice. I think it's just a good sounding word that could... I don't know, it's appealing to me, and that's basically it. You know what? I've seen Undertaker as a suggestion before as far as like naming after the wrestler, and I think if you had to pick someone, I think Gengar's at least a good start. I don't know, because that's the thing about with some of these wrestlers is it's like, it's a cool idea, but who is it really going to fit? And I think at least Undertaker could halfway work. I did want to acknowledge because I actually do like Smoke Bomb. I think it's a cool name, but it's just not going to work because once you evolve it into Haunter and Gengar, it becomes irrelevant. But overall, if there's ever a way that you could find a way to make Smoke Bomb apply to someone, good luck. Because I think it would be at least a halfway decent name. Boogeyman! Who was it? We saw someone and it was like, oh, Boogeyman would work, but like, it was for someone it was a bad Pokemon suggestion. I think it was like, I don't know, fucking Muck or something? Boogeyman would work really good for Gengar. Really good. I think you could apply it to other ghost types or dark types as well, but that one works. Also, I've seen Casper a couple times. I don't really care for it. It feels kind of like way too obvious, but I don't know if I'm alone on that opinion or not, so it just doesn't appeal to me. And I also just like the idea that Spoopy was censored because poopy. That's just funny to me. I've actually never heard of Widemouth before. I saw Widemouth as a suggestion, but I didn't know what it meant, and now I know. I've seen Banshee before as a suggestion for Miss Drevis, and I don't think that it is so particular. I mean, the reason I think it works with Miss Drevis is because the Screech Pokemon, but I do think that if you wanted to, you could probably throw Banshee onto somebody else as well, so I don't think it has to be 100% exclusive. Beetlejuice I've thought about before with other ones. I think I had it maybe for Heracross before I decided I was tired of it. So I guess if you wanted to use that for like a ghost type or a spooky Pokemon, sure, you could do that. Wow, Rick Gastly. That's at least something I've only now seen once. So, kind of doesn't necessarily work once it's Rick Gengar, but I mean, I at least appreciate the joke. No, I've seen this a couple times. I think it's like some sort of mythology or some foreign thing. No, that's not even a suggestion. I mean, I guess it is if you want to count. What's elasma? Well, did you mean plasma, but you forgot the P? Why Wilhelm? Wilhelm scream? I don't think that's a good idea. No, I can't read you. Rip Nappy? Who's Nappy? Oh, right. Actually, I do know that. Just only because I was Wonder Traded a shiny Gengar, and it was called the King Nappy. And I'm like, well, I don't know who this guy is. But it's shiny, so I'm keeping it. Gendark sounds like dumb, but I also kind of don't hate it for how stupid it is. Gengar is like, why? All of these are terrible. Okay, so we gotta end on a bad note, I guess. So I've seen Joker once, and that was on the official Name Rater site. I didn't think it was worth acknowledging, but again, I understand why people would say it. Mr. Smile, on the other hand, is literally like bottom of the barrel. You bashed your face against a wall for 30 minutes, and then those were the first things that came out of your mouth. Doppelganger, Gengar is a weird Pokemon because its origin and what it's based off of isn't the most obvious. But, like, I feel like with the internet, it's become a bit more popularized that it's, like, the theory of it being Clefairy's doppelganger because of how much they have in common. So, like, that feels like you're kind of naming it after what it is. So, Ghost Creep is also incredibly fucking stupid. Prank and Spook are also stupid. And that's the bottom of Google. We've reached the bottom. Now, I'm going to be honest. Like, all of the things I have written down were things we didn't even stumble across, and it kind of blows my mind. Before we do, gotta check the spreadsheet. I need to start remembering to do that. I always look at the top of the tabs, and they're like, oh yeah, there it is. For being one of the most overrated PokeTubers ever, I've never even heard of him until I randomly got his Gengar. A Gengar based on him. Yeah, that's it. There's not much else going on here. Kind of just like a bunch of stuff we've either seen or is just literally garbage. So, the one that I actually liked, because there's only one that I really, really liked, was Smile.jpg. I've seen Cheshire like 50 billion times, and I feel like Boo is honestly not the best. But what did surprise me is nobody took the Zelda route and went with Poe, because I feel like that should be like, you know, duh, baby brain thing, but apparently I'm the only person who thought of it, or at least the only person on the first page of Google. So, like, that's a suggestion. The one I personally use is Gygus, after the Earthbound enemy. Now, the reason for that is actually because of a friend of mine who, he tried, when he first wanted to start making videos, he was doing Pokemon Silver, and he named his Gastly after Gygus, and his username was the Dark Lord Gygus at the time, so that was his thing, and I just, in general, like that, and I think that just kind of works, and I think it fits, and yeah, the other joke, which I don't quite remember, was Loneliness, and that was because that was the name of his girlfriend, it was Loneliness, so calling it Gengar, I guess, was an idea, but I like Gygus much better. That's that. Also, another one I thought of, especially when reading stuff based off wrestlers, which I don't know if that got cut out, because it might have been, because I remember seeing Undertaker. But the other one I was thinking about while reading was Gangrel. He was like a vampire guy who would spit blood and had like one of the coolest entrances. If you wanted to do that, that at least fits with the same kind of letters. So if that matters to you, but other words, that's it. Was it a bust? Not really, just a lot of Cheshire, and that's about it. So I think Gygus is top choice. You don't have to, I don't care. But provide your suggestions in the comments below. Keep the discussion going. Give a thumbs up to the comments you like, and we will see you guys for the next episode of Pokemon name rating stuff.